Up next, ABC's
And here's today's exciting field. Our fifth place player is a Hall of Famer from Canandaigua, New York, Wayne Webb. He'll face the 1992 PBA Rookie of the Year from Clermont, Florida, Jason Couch. Next up, a six-time champion from nearby Perrysburg, Ohio, Don Genalo. In the semifinal game, we'll see 22-time PBA champion Mike Aulby. And our tournament leader is making his first championship appearance from Seattle, Scott Alexander. Our finalists for this afternoon's Professional Bowlers Tour telecast live from Toledo. Yes, it's the PBA National Championship. Back again on the banks of the Wabash, Imperial Lanes, banks of the Maumee. And there you see the 10 pins they'll be trying to knock down. I'm Chris Schenkel along with Nelson Burton Jr. A lot of money at stake, Bo.
You're right, Chris. $35,000 on top, and probably more important to the players is a 3-year tour exemption and a ride to the Brunswick Tournament Champions at the end of the season.
And in our very first match, we have Wayne Webb, 17-time champion, PBA Hall of Famer in 1993, and Jason Couch. He was ninth in the showboat this year. That's the best for this season. He has 2 titles. Jason Nelson, I don't think we've seen anybody, a left-hander, do that far to the right.
Well, he's just almost on the even number lane, lane 26, Chris, and we'll take another shot at that later on when he comes up on that lane. Wayne Webb, however, a little more traditional style. He's cut his hook down, and he's going right around between the second and third arrows.
47 total titles in our field of 5. Imagine this young man has 17 of them.
Wayne Webb, a former power player who's cut it down. He says 5 simple steps. One of the great arm swings in our sport is absolutely perfectly straight through at this zone. Watch how he pivots off that right foot. Good slide on the left foot. And notice that hand coming underneath the ball. That's the key to getting consistent lift and accuracy.
Big important double for Wayne Webb. The 3 jewels of professional bowling's Triple Crown are the PBA National, we're contesting today, the PBA United States Open, and the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions. Strike up. All tied, though, after 4 shots.
Well, Couch is really putting a putty to it. Look where he's playing. He's playing extreme right side of the lane. He's laying the ball down on almost the very inboard. He has a great swing. He goes straight on through it. He cuts the ball loose right here. Look between the 4th and 5th arrows, and then right on into the 1-2 pocket. Chris, I don't think, and as you point out, ever seen a left-hander play that far inside of the lane. I think maybe Steve Cook in Long Island about 10 years ago. You need power to play that deep.
That stands on the left lane for Jason Couch. He just joined us. The winner of this match will meet Don Genalo, then Mike Aulby, and then our tournament leader, Scott Alexander. What's he looking at, Bo?
Well, Chris, he's kind of looking down at the approach, but I think it's just a matter of a little bit of nervousness. If Jason has any one drawback in his young, powerful game, it's his spare-making ability. Now look at Wayne Webb. Wayne has a basically conventional grip here, but if he gets in trouble with the ball hooking too much, he'll pull his middle finger out and just go with 2-finger shot. So we'll see what he does throughout the day.
10 pin. on the right lane.
Chris, and that's one of the reasons the players want to go straighter this week. The oil is 45 feet down the lane. The lane's 60 feet to the head pin, 45 feet down the lane. You don't have time to play a big, dependable hook in the last 15 feet, so you want to keep it fairly straight here.
Though you won one of your 17 titles right here.
Right here, Chris, Imperial Lanes, I've always bowled well here, and it's a great house for a player who can keep it on line but use great lift. Now let's look at how Wayne Webb is attacking the championship here. He's decided to go with his hook ball. He's over in this area. Earlier he was practicing in this area. I think his strike zone will be right around the third arrow.
Back striking. Native of Massachusetts, now bowling out of Canandaigua, New York. We're in Toledo, and it's a cold day where even the tall buildings at Edison Plaza, the OI Tower, can't keep the wind off the locals.
It's best right after they shave. They smell so good. And their skin is so soft and smooth. I love that.
Alpha Hydrox Aftershave Lotion conditions, hydrates, and exfoliates your skin with natural fruit acids that can leave your skin looking healthier, smoother, younger.
Do men get better looking when they get older? Some men do.
Alpha Hydrox Aftershave Lotion at drug, grocery, and discount stores.
You know, I'm always teaching bowlers how to put fingers into the shot, not just the ball. But you can also use your fingers to save money. If you're 50 or over, just call 1-800-4-CHOICE, and you can save 30% at choice hotels like Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep. 30%. Now that's what I call aiming for the pocket.
Travelers 50 and over save 30% at Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotel.
Triple Crown winner John PETRAGLIA. 2 weeks we'll be televising the Johnny PETRAGLIA Open, Nelson.
Chris, who could forget his perfect game here last year, $100,000 bonus, and John standing by watching one of the younger power southpaws, as John was some 20 years ago, Jason Couch, who right now is even in this match. Look at how far to the right he is standing.
God.
Almost on lane 27, out of play. You can play anywhere on the approach, just don't go over the foul line.
Leaving the 4-7. He comes quite close to the foul line.
Well, from that somewhat of an obtuse angle, Chris, to the pocket, it's difficult to tell when a player pulls the ball, but when you see it just stay right down the center, you have no chance. The center of the head pin is actually about 19, 20 inches from the left-hand channel or right-hand channel, and he just didn't give that enough room.
An open frame.
The one thing Jason has to improve in his game, all the rest of it I think he has, is filling those frames. He leaves a fairly simple spare that an experienced player would have cut down their hook a little bit on. He chops the 2 directly back off the 4, and he's given Wayne Webb a 13-pin edge through 4 frames. Now look where he's standing here. Over here, it's only going to take 4 steps. He's taking 5 on the other lane. He's going to drift in here. The ball is going to cross in there. What a shot.
The professional that he is, coming right back with a powerful strike. We're in our first match for the PBA National Championship.
Notice how Webb sets up. He looks down the lane, then looks at a second spot. Looks down the lane, then a second spot. Much like Don Carter, draws an imaginary line between 2 targets and lets that arm swing go directly down the line.
4-pin, a man who won over $100,000 for 4 years.
Once again, if Wayne had gone a little straighter with that shot, the ball sets up and he would have carried the 4. He's opted to go with his natural game, a little more hook, and he leads in the match, but I don't know if it's the best way to hit him.
Okay, next Saturday on ABC Sports, the Professional Bowlers Tour heads east to the Chesapeake Bay. Pins will fly as Dave D'Entremont battles a field of bowling's finest in the Greater Baltimore Open. That's live at 3 Eastern, 2 Central next Saturday here on ABC Sports. Dave D'Entremont, who won the last 2 PBA tournaments, finished 17th here.
solid 10. Now, Wayne Webb should hit the left-hand lane, lane 25 here at the 60 lane Imperial Bowling Center, much better than the right-hand lane. The characteristic of the left-hand lane is that it hooks wide and allows for an even break. The right-hand lane, you have to play a little tighter. Wayne's having trouble with that lane.
Wayne Webb, after the second and third rounds at this national championship.
Now, Chris, just the reverse for Jason Couch, who has suffered through a bad year last year where he sliced his finger on his slicer, and now he's back to a full grip. And if you can't quite see it now, there's a bandage on his ring finger, and now he is back to his full grip and can get the power that he had 2 years ago.
Winner of the Tournament Players Championship in Indianapolis and the Tums Classic in Windsor Locks, Connecticut.
Another spare that gives Jason a little bit of trouble. Those left-hand corner spares, you can see his finger there, completely bandaged. Uses a ball that's much harder. Hopefully it'll slide down that left side, knock off that 7-pin. He'd only trail by 12.
Great week of play here in Toledo, Ohio, where bowling is very, very popular.
Now, Jason needs a ball that'll hook as much as he possibly can, even though the lanes are hooking, because when you play that deep, actually to the right side of the head pin, let the ball hook back to the left side, you need to create some angle of attack to the pocket, at least 3 or 4 degrees, and you can with this ball that hooks a little bit more than all the rest of the balls he has in his bag.
The shot of Jason Couch, who trails by only 12 in our first match. We'll be back.
I want more power. I'd like better mileage.
Split fire doesn't look like any other spark plug. It doesn't work like any other spark plug. 5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs. A 4.8% gain in mileage. With split fire, you'll get more here, and you'll spend less here. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You'll get more power and more mileage for your money back. You'll get more here, and you'll spend less here. Guaranteed.
The reason that bowlers bowl is to score. But tough lane conditions can make scoring very difficult. That's why you need the brand new Warhawk from Champions. The Warhawk is made for performance. It's designed for a sudden and deadly angle of attack and awesome finishing power. The new Warhawk from Champions. It's a proven winner on the PBA Tour, and it can help you too. The Warhawk. You can't stop it from scoring.
It's skating's high-flying thrill show. Don't miss the pairs final at the State Farm U.S. Figure Skating Championship next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
We're at Imperial Lanes, Toledo, Ohio. Wayne Webb in our first match has a 12-pin lead over Jason Couch, a former Team USA player. He has 2 pro titles. He is a tough left-hander. And it's Wayne Webb now, the right-hander, that's ready to shoot in the 7th frame. He has a spare up. Winner of this game will meet Don Genalo. Let's go to Nelson Burton.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Don Genalo, I believe you have an advantage for 2 reasons here. I think the straighter shot that you throw is the shot for the championship here, and you're the hometown favorite. How do you feel about both of those?
I feel good. The lanes are hooking a little bit more than they did during the week, but I have a good shot on both lanes. Left lane's hooking a little bit more. Hopefully I can make the right adjustments.
And the crowd loves him, Chris. You're going to hear some noise in the next match. Back to you.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Wayne Webb. And with that double, takes a 22-pin lead here in our first game. Tremendous field of players here for this 56-game lengthy format, PBA National. Oh, that Scout. Very slow-moving Scout.
A lot of wrist action in that shot, Chris, and that's what drove that head pin over next to the 6 and 10. He likes it.
Jason sort of taking out his anger that set of pins, but he has a double up there, cutting Webb's lead to 12 again, and now the big foundation Knights frame for Jason, and that blue bowling ball.
Jason does not doubt his ability. He's 25 years old. He's an aggressive player, has a little bit more to learn. He has a bright future on the tour, but he is confident in his game, and right now a win over Wayne Webb would really build his confidence in this championship round. Key shot here.
That's the lead to 2, Nelson.
Boy, he caught it all, Chris. He just got a full handful there.
Tonight on the ABC Family Movie, a network premiere of a Disney classic, Jason Robards and Elijah Wood star in Mark Twain's timeless tale, The Adventures of Huck Finn. Then Jeff Fahey stars in a brand new episode of The Marshal, all tonight starting at 8, 7 Central, right here on ABC. He's strung 3 now, back to a 12-10 lead.
Well, Wayne Webb's situation is simply this. If he strikes out, he has 248 and shuts out Jason Couch. The best Jason can do is 236 here in our opening match. Webb with a strike, 9 spare would shut him out. Anything less, the youngster can go up and win the match. Here we go, 10th frame.
And the 1980 Player of the Year. So much different now than he was then as we look at his opponent.
Boy, you're right about that, Chris. Remember, we almost saw a right-handed Jason Couch in the 1980s, late 70s and early 80s, but very much matured and improved Wayne Webb. He's on a position right now that he can get 9 spare and shut out Couch. Anything less, Couch can still win the match. Here we go. High scoring.
Dreaded 7-10.
How about that, Chris? You know what happens here. He'll get one of these pins, end up at 235, and Couch can get 3 strikes to win. Look at this. He just rips the 5 out. It goes behind the 7. The 6 jumps around the 10. He'll get 9 and allows Couch enough room to win the match. For Jason Couch, he has a reprieve sitting on the bench. What sits in front of him? 2 strikes and 9. We have a tie match, our first of the year. All 3 strikes he wins. Anything less, Wayne Webb will meet Genalo.
Starts on the right lane. Did he hit him?
Got them all, Chris. He's got that whipping action, almost like a bullwhip coming through. Remember when we saw Monticelli when he was much younger? I used to admire how much he could whip that ball through. I used to say it's like starting a lawnmower, and this guy's got it started. And right now he needs 1 more. Graphic tells the story. 2 strikes to win. Strike 9. We have a tie.
A 7 on the right lane. Appreciation from the capacity crowd here at Imperial Lanes. He'll be in the 220s, but the winner is Wayne Webb at 235. 225, a 10-pin victory. The handshake, and Wayne Webb now will go against Don Genalo. This ABC Sports presentation of the Professional Bowlers Tour will continue after this message and a word from our ABC station.
Now, an oil made just for your hard-working engine. 4x4 from Quaker State. Off-roading, extreme temperatures, towing and hauling. They all make your light truck or 4x4 work extra hard and could shorten its life. Why settle for a conventional car oil? Get 4x4 from Quaker State.
Now, an independent test showed 4x4 superior to leading conventional car oils in protecting against deposits that can shorten engine life.
Have you had your break today?
Is that a McDonald's double cheeseburger?
Yeah.
Could I have a teensy-weensy little bite? Just a nibble?
Okay.
Now McDonald's famous original double cheeseburger or our morning fresh sausage McMuffin with egg is just 95 cents.
Have you had your break today?
95 cents only through the end of February.
Distinctive, comfortable clothing fits today's active and demanding lifestyle. Add fashion, quality, and flair, and you've got PBA Tour Apparel. PBA Tour Apparel, made in America, is clearly the choice of champions, like PBA Player of the Year, Norm Duke. Activewear with American-made quality and style and recognizable value. Call 1-800-521-5212 to place your order for PBA Tour Apparel or your free catalog. PBA Tour Apparel by King Louis, the striking difference.
Saturday, a hit woman out for revenge sets her sights on the marshal.
Why would someone in the government try to set you up?
And she makes McBride an offer he can't refuse.
You help me find them, I'll let you go. If not, I'll kill you too.
The Marshal, Saturday here on ABC.
I'm Jim Rosenbaum of the law firm of Rosenbaum & Associates. Have you been seriously injured in any type of accident or by medical malpractice? Do you want a lawyer who's committed to get you the quickest and best settlement? Do you want a lawyer who takes a personal interest in your case and who answers your questions? Then call me, Jim Rosenbaum, 1-800-7-LEGAL-7, 7 days a week. Our office is committed to give you service and get you results. I've been getting results for over 25 years. If you want results, call me, Jim Rosenbaum. There's no charge to talk with me.
Do you have just $149 to put down on a new car? Then your nearby Sheehy Ford, Lincoln Mercury, or Nissan dealership can put you into a brand new car or truck. Just $149 down delivers any model through February 28th only. At Sheehy Ford Lincoln Mercury in Lebanon, Sheehy Lincoln Mercury in Springfield, Sheehy Ford Northeast Philadelphia, Sheehy Ford Wilmington, Delaware, Sheehy Nissan Newcastle, Delaware, and Sheehy Ford Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. Unless the Sheehy emblem is on your car or truck, you probably paid too much.
For all the news, weather, and sports, now Action News Sunday morning.
ABC Sports coverage of the Professional Bowlers Tour. Brought to you by McDonald's. Have you had your break today? Quaker State 4x4 Motor Oil, the intelligent oil for hard-working engines. And AMF, maker of the new XS, featuring X technology.
Standing room only, and our first match is ended with 7 strikes. Wayne Webb wins it by 10, 235 to 225. PBA National Championship contested here since 1981. Knowing all about it and other things is Nelson Burton Jr., Bo.
Thank you, Chris. And with me is one of the only 3 men to win the Triple Crown, Johnny PETRAGLIA. And John, last year was really an unforgettable moment.
Oh, Bo, it was probably the greatest moment of my life, and it's just, I get melancholy just being back here, sitting on the camera watching. This is, got to get choked up all over again, Bo. Best thing that ever happened to me, other than my kids being born.
Well, that was one of the greatest shots I've ever seen under pressure. How'd you do this week?
Well, this week I had a touch of the flu, and after the first day I had to withdraw, but I got to spend the whole week in Toledo, see all the people that treated me so great last year, and it was great being back here, and next year will be better, I promise.
All right, 2 weeks from now we have a great tournament. What's the name of it?
Johnny PETRAGLIA Open, the Brunswick Johnny PETRAGLIA Open. We've got over 3,000 AMs, the vets are coming in, the kids are ready, we're all ready. It'll be great.
He's always ready, and 2 men are ready in the next match. Chris, back to you.
Always good to hear from the Vietnam veteran, Johnny PETRAGLIA. Don Genalo will be going against Wayne Webb. Don finishing 3rd after 56 games. His best year, 1986, 93,000. White bowling ball. Great for the pro that hasn't bowled in the tour full time since 1991. Confidence is back.
You're right, Chris. And if there's any one player, even though Webb shot a great first game, that really has the right shot for this championship here, it's Genalo. But Webb's loose, and he's a champion and a big winner.
8th strike thus far this afternoon. First in the second game.
Interesting lane construction here at Imperial Lanes. The first 24 feet are synthetic lanes. The last 36 feet, as you look down the lane, a very good shot, almost what Chris and I see, a new angle. You can see Wayne Webb's angle. That's what I was saying. The last 36 feet are pine, which gives you a nice skid through the head and a nice roll on the wood.
Wayne leaving a 7-pin on the left lane. Also viewing that site with us is our statistician, Butch Soper, who finished 13th this week. Nice paycheck, Butch.
And Webb doesn't get the good break on the 7-pin. The head pin takes out the 4, leaves the 7. He's got a simple spare, knocks it down.
Norm Duke finished 28th this week. Brian Goebel 30th. Bob Benoit 32nd. Brian Voss 34th. And Mark Roth 19th. Great mixing action down there in the right lane. And it's a 10-pin lead for Don Genalo.
Well, I like Genalo's style. It's some style for everybody to copy. It's a simple 5-step delivery. Look at how steady his head. He drops down a little bit. But look at all these positions. Look where that pivot step is, and watch him drive straight through the target, locked arm swing, and probably most important, Chris, he is disciplined at the foul line, holds that follow through. Great concentration.
.61, 150 pounds, 37 years old, last win, Windsor, Ontario, Canada, where we have a lot of viewers. We have a lot of viewers at a place here in Toledo called Hamways, too, though.
Yeah, it's a great place, man. You go in there, all sorts of TVs watching the Pro Bowlers Tour. It's always a fun spot, and I know that you'd like to stop by there sometime if we ever get a chance.
Third frame strike. Now he has a chance to take a 1-pin lead with a strike on the left lane. Winner of this game will go on to meet Mike Aulby, who finished second last week.
Well, the lane I think that Wayne should hit the best. It allows for a little more swing, a little more hook, a little more towards his natural game. Has kind of been his undoing. He's around the pocket, but can't seem to put together the double. It's been strike, light 7-pin, strike, half 10. He's going to trail by 9.
We're in our second game. Imperial Lanes PBA National Championship.
The new XS from AMF. It will destroy your old notions of what hook and hitting power can be. Something is happening in homes across America. Prime Star, the complete mini-dish satellite service, is bringing hours of family entertainment, pro and college sports, and the latest hit movies, all with digital quality picture and sound. And best of all, with Prime Star, you don't have to buy or maintain equipment. The complete service, including programming, can be yours starting at about $1 a day. All you have to do is call 1-800-PRIME-STAR.
Our country senior stars try to drive away with the team title when they battle an all-star international squad. It's the Chrysler Cup, Sunday on ABC Sports.
Great angle shot of Imperial Lanes here in Toledo, Ohio. From Perrysburg, Ohio. Married a lovely lady from that area and made their residence here. Don Genalo. Nice shot with a 9-pin lead, and here's Bo again.
Thank you, Chris. Jason, that first match, a valiant effort, and you just came up a little bit short. Really was a 7-pin was undoing, but the deep inside angle, tough.
Right, that's the first time I played it out here on the PBA Tour. You know, we never get in that far, being left-handers, not much play. But I found a great reaction in there, and I felt like I threw it good today.
Well, you bowled like a pro. You're a former Rookie of the Year, and I look for more good things to come to you. Good luck next week. Back to you, Chris.
Okay, we really do.
Come on, baby.
And that double now puts Don Genalo ahead by 19 pins, but Wayne Webb is up. Spare working. He'll be shooting in the 5th. Originally from Rehoboth, Massachusetts, right near Seekonk Speedway. All right, 4th in, couldn't trip it. This is the man that won the Tournament of Champions in Akron. This year it will be the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions in the Chicago area. Okay, spare, and here's Bo.
Thank you, Chris. With me, Mike Aulby. Mike, in the history of bowling, when I usually watch, it's usually the left-handers playing the outside line, the right-handers playing the inside line. It's actually reversed, and is that kind of an edge for the righties in the championship round?
Well, I think their angle to the pockets can be a little better for carry, but, you know, Jason and I have done pretty well all week, and I see no reason for it to change today at all.
Mike, what's the one key pin you got to work on from that angle?
Well, the 7 pin, you know, it's trouble getting the angle to get the ball to flip and finish back flush because the ball fades from in there, so it's tough to get the corner out the 7.
All right, let's see if he can do it, Chris. Back to you.
Okay, strike on the left lane for Wayne Webb. Now with a double up shooting in the 6th frame to take a 30-pin lead. A 7.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Genalo for the 7 pin.
Okay.
The advantage of a big hand in bowling is never can be understated. Genalo's got one of the largest spans in the sport, 5 3/8 inches from the base of the thumb to the tip of the fingers. Look at that grip, and it allows him to stay behind the ball and help control the ball and with accuracy. However, a little short on power, partner.
There.
The story's been very simple for our almost 2 games here at the National Championship. The pocket is easy. It accesses the ball very easily. It's who can knock down these 3-pound, 8-ounce pins standing 60 feet away.
Don Genalo, whose last 2 appearances were at the Tournament of Champions in 86 and 90, will be back.
He peered down into the rugged landscape of Kellogg's low-fat granola and paused, almost afraid to disturb all those massive formations of flavor. But that's what he'd come for, to dig in, setting loose a whole avalanche of taste. Tumbling clumps of rolled oats, brown sugar, and raisins cast into rivers of milk, and great clumps of wheat and almonds dashed against cinnamon shores. Now this is a mountain of taste, he thought. Kellogg's low-fat granola. Get a taste of it.
I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy. Don't you think?
Original and cooling blue.
By men.
Hyperkeratosis? Symptom: persistent, itchy, flaky scalp. Solution: Neutrogena T-Gel. It works. Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo.
Get ready for this.
Sunday, join quarterback Stan Humphries of the San Diego Chargers for some all-new All-Pro videos. It's America's funniest hours, Sunday here on ABC.
Today will be his first time on TV as the tournament leader.
Good-looking player, Chris. It's going to be interesting to see how he reacts to the pressure of a national championship, first time in the championship round, and the tournament leader. Here's a guy with some experience, but he needs to pull upon all of it. He trails by 18, can cut the lead to 8 with a strike.
Coming up next on ABC's Wide World of Sports, Jenny Nino and Todd Sand defend their title in the pairs competition at the State Farm United States Figure Skating Championships. And in her final United States competition, Bonnie Blair goes for the gold the World Sprint Speed Skating Championships. That's all next, right here. ABC Sports.
Webb can take the lead with a strike.
Traveling back against Don Genalo, who's up and ready.
Well, that's just superb how his ball is in the pocket. It's going down there about 45 feet, the full extent of the oil line, just making a little flip. Now here's old Bigfoot, size 13A. Another advantage in the sport of bowling. Allows him to be on balance in the foul line.
And that good foundation got him that. 8th frame strike.
Genalo, who is just a control player, has a nice balance between accuracy and control and power. Simple. This is the way you should learn it. You can learn to develop the power. He'll end up sliding in this area. You can just bet he's going to be right around that second arrow. Here it goes, just like this.
Holding his head, and I don't blame him.
Well, Don has a tendency to be very critical of his own game. He turns the ball a little early. In other words, he lets the thumb rotate over the top. The fingers get on the side instead of underneath the ball. It feels like you're getting more power, but actually you get less leverage, less hook. He's ended up with a position where he has the 2-5-7, get the ball over next to the 2, let the 2 carry out the 5, the ball into the 7. If he makes it, he'll trail by just 2 pins.
Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. 185 through the 9th. And his wife, Mary, feebly applauding his 7-year-old daughter, Ann, watching her dad as well.
Aulby can put one nail in the coffin with a strike right here. I say Aulby, Mike. Wayne Webb.
All right, I said the Wabash instead of the Wummy.
Well, I don't mind you thinking about the whole Indiana back home in Indiana, but Mike Aulby's up in the next match. The situation for Webb is he just needs 9 on the first ball to shut out the local favorite, Don Genalo.
What a closer, this Webb.
Yeah, he's always been good in the clutch, Chris. And he's a confidence player. I'll be surprised this ball isn't around the pocket.
You're looking at the face of a competitor.
Oh, he's determined. He's $1 million player. Look at his stats. He's one of the top 10 all-time money winners, cracked that $1 million mark. He won 16 titles in a period of about 7 or 8 years. He's only won once in the last 10 years, so he's hungry, he's more mature, and he looks awfully sharp today.
Last night had a big game against Dale Schreiber, 254 to 244.
That was in the final game, and he closed it out with 6 strikes to get himself in the number 5 position. He's taking advantage of that right now. And on that last shot, you could see that swing area he has on the left-hand lane. He sent that ball out a little bit wider. Now he's edged a little board left on the approach, swinging a little bit wider, a little test shot here. Hello. 248.
That to go with his 235 victory over Jason Couch, who shot a 225.
Genalo can finish with 215, good for 4th place.
And there you see Mary. I always feel for a family of a bowler that just didn't get enough pins.
Well, Don's got a wonderful job. He has a nice pro shop locally here in town. He's well received. He's won over $600,000 on the pro tour. He enjoys staying home with his family, gets to bowl part-time as a regional player, and he's really acquitted himself well for a part-time player. Just one bad shot, the 9th frame. He strikes there, Chris. He could have had a 247.
So, pat on the back, Don Genalo, for making a comeback and getting back here on the tour and in the PBA National, finishing 4th.
Going to bowl 2 or 3 tournaments.
Sure.
He's accomplished what he wants to. Obviously, he'd like a little bit more, but good week.
We hope so. Neat guy. 248, 215. This week's Choice Hotels Tip of the Week features John Andegard and his approach.
ABC Sports presents a winning never gets old bowling tip, brought to you by Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotels.
With me is the most prolific champion on the PBA Seniors Tour, John Handegard. And John, you and I have bowled together for more than 3 decades, and what is the biggest physical change you've seen in the game over that period of time?
Well, years ago, we were taught, for example, to have the ball in the first step out in front, second step straight down. In the third step, it went back, and the fourth step was a slide. The modern player gets the ball into motion much earlier. If you notice in this sequence here, I get the ball moving a little earlier at this point, and when the second step hits the floor, the ball is already past the hip. That frees up the arm swing, lets your legs work nice, increases your ball speed, which gives you more impact at the pin.
Well, you look just super there, John, and obviously you've made this change in your career, and all of you players can make that change, especially you seniors, to get more ball speed. And remember, winning never gets old.
Look for future ABC Sports winning never gets old bowling tips, brought to you by Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotels.
There are gut balls and gutter balls, and sometimes the trophy falls. But no matter what, you'll love the bowlers who have it all on ABC Sports Home Video, Bowling the Perfect Game. Call 1-800-4ABC-VCR to order bowling's colorful history, narrated by Chris Schenkel and Nelson Burton Jr. This collector's home video can be yours to enjoy for only $14.98 plus $3.95 shipping. That's 1-800-4ABC-VCR.
You know, winning never gets old, and neither does saving money. If you're 50 or over, just call 1-800-4CHOICE to reserve a room in any Quality, Comfort, Clarion, or Sleep Hotel. And you can save 30% off the price of your room. That number again, 1-800-4CHOICE. Perfect.
Travelers 50 and over save 30% at Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotel.
Just when you thought you knew your way around the game, Columbia 300 introduces a finer point, Barracuda. The new Cuda C with Ceramicore from Columbia 300. Experience the power from within.
Columbia bowls the world over.
Yes, the PBA Hall of Famer coming to the front today, Wayne Webb, with a 235-225 victory over Jason Couch. Now with 8 strikes, 248 over Don Genalo's 215. Then, of course, it's Webb going against Aulby. Sherry Graytop is one of the great general managers of bowling lanes anywhere, Ducat's Imperial Lanes.
She's a sweetheart, far away from St. Louis, and she's responsible for some of the 2,500 Pro-Am members they have here as you look through the 6 through 24. Big field, 225. They bowled 56 games this week over 7 days, and we'll see how some of the other top players finished. Dale Traver bowled for the title last year. His brother was defending champion. Dennis Horan, Splitfire champion. Deadeye, 9th place. Roger Bowker, 2 weeks in a row in the top 10. Amleto, Marty Letcher. Butch bowled a perfect game this week. Mike Taylor, San Diego, love that town. Brad Snell, the Big D, our leading money winner so far this year. Mock Roth, a little comeback kid. Eric Forkel won his national championship right here. Tommy Evans, we saw him at the Choice Hotels. Charlie Standish, 3 perfect games last week. Doug Kent working on his game, round out the top 24, Chris.
Okay, today we're in Toledo, and we go into the semifinal match, but next week, that's 1 week from today, the Greater Baltimore Open. Dennis Baldwin will see Kurt Pisano, the manager of that bowling facility, for the Baltimore Open Championship. That's next week. 2 weeks from today, the Brunswick Johnny Petraglia Open. Same starting time as usual, 3 Eastern, 2 Central, right here on ABC. Match number 3. Applause for 2 wonderful champions. 39 titles between them. Mike Aulby with 2 PBA National Championships to his credit.
Chris, the winner of this game is going to win the tournament.
Okay.
Semifinal.
High hit, leaving a 4-pin.
Once again, you see the left-hander with the deep inside line. I mean deep. They're sliding right on the gutter cap and rolling that ball between the 5th and 6th arrows. I say advantage right-hander. Tough to carry under pressure from that angle. Wayne Webb, 23 shots to the pocket, 23 pocket hits, 15 strikes, 65% carriage. Today, he is zeroed in.
Confidently walks quickly over to the left lane.
Doesn't show it there, but he just has a wonderful, light-hearted personality, that Wayne Webb. Nice guy. As you see Aulby doing a little work on his bowling ball, put a piece of tape in that thumb hole. He probably lost that first shot a little bit. Tighten it up, get that good feel. You don't want it so tight you're going to hang in it, but you don't want to squeeze it.
So there's a big double. $1,103,951 for Wayne. For this man, fourth on the all-time list, $1,455,000. I'm talking about Mike Aulby, $262. Male bowler of the decade of the 80s, Mike Aulby. And the former president of the Professional Bowlers Association gets his first strike in the second frame.
Mike Aulby with a simple style that's lasted him very well for more than a decade. 4-step delivery, high push away, open hand. Look at his head. Now watch everything come through right through the line. Good knee bend, solid footwork, on balance, right to target, hips squared up. Now watch him on the left-hand lane. He has a problem a little bit with his ball return rack. He'll slide over in this area, and look at this target zone. Really tough. You've got to keep that arm swing inside.
Smooth and quiet, that shot.
Well, two Hoosiers, one a former Hoosier up there on the approach right now. Wayne Webb going against another Mike Aulby. They've bowled each other many times, national and local level. A lot of respect for each other.
Well,
isn't that something? You throw, listen to this, 25 balls in a row in the 1-3 pocket. You make one mistake out here on the tour, and he leaves the 4-6. That is unlucky. You don't need to pay a penalty for one bad shot, but it's happened to Webb, and he's opened the door for Aulby.
This is Wayne Webb's third match of the afternoon. If you just joined us, he defeated Jason Couch 235 to 225, then defeated Don Genalo 248 to 215.
See if he can bounce back.
One of the reasons he's a PBA Hall of Famer. Aulby and Webb. Classic confrontation here in Toledo. We'll be back.
If you settle for a remanufactured engine without a brand name, be sure you've got a pair of name brand shoes. AC Delco engines, the national brand name with the nationwide warranty. Call for a location near you. Of course, if you come in on foot, we'll understand.
It's not whether you win or lose. It's whether you win.
The meek may inherit the earth, but they'll never bowl a perfect game.
It's skating's high-flying thrill show. Don't miss the pairs final at the State Farm U.S. Figure Skating Championship next on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
At Imperial Lanes since 1981. The PBA National has been contested here. Here's a man that's won 2. First as a rookie in Las Vegas, and then here, his second. Mike Aulby. Out to a 24-pin lead, Bo.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Don Genalo, good week, local favorite, but one mistake there in the late going.
Got a little too aggressive on the left-hand lane. It hooked a little more for me all week, and I tried to go a little hard and a little straight, and too hard, too straight.
Well, daughter Laura, you ought to be proud of your daddy. He'll be back again. Up to you, Chris.
Okay. Adorable little lady. Mike Aulby, he and Tammy have a son named Christopher. All but the 7. Mike Aulby's last win was 1993 in Wichita. He's 34 years old. Wayne Webb is 37. Mike had a 300 game here this week, one of 11. And in Wichita, one that was beautifully done. Okay, now Mike can rest with a 23-pin lead. He can rest because this man is up, and he has a strike working, shooting in the 5th frame. He can cut the lead to 13. Semifinal match. And that's the story, Bo.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Our tournament leaders, unheralded Scott Alexander. Scott, are you surprised at your position, tournament leader, national championship?
To say surprised, no. I worked hard on my game this year, and I think I'm bowling good. Well, I'm nervous as can be, though. If I get the blood pressure down, make a few good shots, get a couple breaks, you never know.
How about your concentration? What's your game plan for one game? What do you thought out?
Look straight ahead and try not to watch the score too much.
All right, good luck, stud. See you later.
Thank you very much. Right, Wayne? Okay, 3 in a row, and now he trails to only 3. Let's look again. Watch carefully. See how he ended up with his footwork. Here it comes. A little high, but those scouts.
That's a break he needed, Chris.
It sure was. Mike, after marking with a spare in the 5th frame, back with a strike in the 6th. Winner to meet, Scott Alexander, for the title.
Interesting story with Aulby. He used to use a 15-pound ball until 1985, when the minimum weight of the bowling pin went from 3 pound 2 ounces to 3 pound 6 ounces, and it was his inability of carry the 7-pin, which made him go to the 16-pounder, and he needs all that weight from the deep inside line today.
All right, and he got a break. Taking a 13-pin lead again. After leading by 23, it was cut to 3.
This is a saw ball. 16 pounds, a 15-pounder, I don't think would have driven the 5 over into the 6-10 zone. Driven out the 10, has given Aulby a 13-pin lead.
And watch his reaction. Move a little, Mike. Come on. Ah, that's it. All right, we'll be back.
Unbelievable.
Like ballet with a boom.
Beat the ball.
I like the action. It's action.
Hey, pins, you're dust. Beat the ball.
It's all in the beard.
The grass. The approach.
Mine. The shoe.
You're unbelievable.
Somebody.
You're unbelievable.
Ear frame.
I am the ball. Who loves your ball?
You're unbelievable.
Introducing the repair shop at Radio Shack. If it's out of whack
and out of warranty, just call us.
We'll tell you whether you should bring it in.
About how much it'll cost.
And how soon you'll get it. I show you get it back. We fix most major brands. Even
the more...
We fix most major
brands of electronics.
Even the more...
annoying ones.
The repair shop at Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
Two of the winningest teams of all time meet when the two Blue Devils battle the red-hot Bruins of UCLA. It's Pizza Hut College Basketball Sunday on ABC.
Today it's Toledo. The semifinal match. Wayne Webb trailing by 13. But he has 3 in a row shooting in the 7th. Now by only 3. Next Saturday on ABC Sports, Pro Bowlers Tour, we move to Maryland. We've been going to the Baltimore-Washington area since 1971. We go to Country Club Lanes, owned by Dennis Baldwin. Look forward to the Greater Baltimore Open. Just happy to go. Look out, crab cakes.
George Branham III, defending champion. Now, Wayne Webb can take the lead for the first time in the match, 8th frame. You bet, Chris. All wrist action.
Goodness.
As we set up earlier, that left-hand lane allows the right-handed bowler a big edge. He can swing it wide. So Aulby's best lane should be the right-hand lane, 26. The left-hand lane's advantage for the right-hander.
Double up, shooting in the 8th.
And he can retake the lead that Webb just captured there in the 7th if he can strike in the 8th. Back and forth.
A 6th.
Mike Aulby, for 227 games in 6 cities this year, is averaging 228, but not this way. He gets a little bit high. 3-pin goes around the 6. He needed that strike to regain the lead. A spare here. He'll trail by 8. Just 2 frames remaining. Semifinal, first jewel of bowling's Triple Crown. All right, for Aulby, so let's take it off the sheet. 248. Wayne Webb, possible 266. Anybody can win. 2 frames left.
Had a concerned look as he came back from the approach after that last shot.
I don't think Mike Aulby will ever lose his confidence, but sometimes I think he'll doubt not his ability, but his ability to be real dominant. A win here would go a long way in reestablishing that.
A 10.
And he's kept the ball in play. The only errant shot was his very first attempt. In the first frame, he crossed over and left the 4-pin. He's had every ball in the hole. He left a 7-pin in the 5th frame, a 6-pin in the 8th, and here a wall shot 10 in the 9th. This match is still up for grabs. 2 good spare shooters out there. They won't give it away. Hear that ball hitting the thumb hole as Aulby kills the shot. Smart move. Webb can take all the marbles here, Chris, if he can throw a couple strikes.
Working with 5 in a row.
Unusual, partner. Usually the 5-pin or the 4-pin takes out the 7. There, he just sawed him over. Let's see. Let's see a replay here. Now watch the 5-pin. That's the pin right behind the head pin. Where does it go? It goes straight back. The 2-pin goes to the sideboard and actually takes out the 7. Unusual. He's put himself in a position where any mark will win the match and he'll bowl for the title. Spare a strike, he defeats Aulby.
And this is sweet for Wayne Webb, who hasn't won since 1989 in Peoria, defeating Amleto Monticelli and Aulby.
Well, both these players are great players. Aulby has had a little more success in the early 90s than Wayne Webb, but don't take away national championships, Triple Crown victories. Guys like this know how to win. Right now, Webb just needs to keep it on the lane, and he'll bowl an untested Scott Alexander for the title. 250.
And he's looking for his first PBA National Championship. Mike Aulby with 2. Scott Alexander, first time on TV.
All Aulby needs is the U.S. Open for the Triple Crown, which will be contested in about a month, just a little north of here in Detroit.
Great round of applause for both bowlers, and at the moment for this person. Webb with a 255.
Aulby, I'm sure, is not happy with the final result, but the score was a good, solid game. He bowled 220 with just his first ball out of the pocket. It was the angle of attack that actually was the undoing of Aulby. He had to play that deep inside line. If he didn't play there, he couldn't hit the pocket, and it's inconsequential. It's match game style, 255 to 250.
This ABC Sports presentation of the Professional Bowlers Tour will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Have you had your break today? We all need to get away. There's one place that's on your way. McDonald's is your break today. Have you had your break today? Oh, big time out McDonald's way. Save a little money, put a smile in your tummy. Have you had your break today? Feed me, please me, tempt me, tease me. Oh yeah. Rush me down to Mickey D's. Have you had your break today? Easy does it McDonald's way. Change the place of smiling face. Oh yeah, yeah. Have you had your break today? Have you had your break today?
Sunday, one of the greatest films of all time, winner of 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, Kevin Costner. A love story so compelling, you'll want to see it again. The unforgettable epic Dances with Wolves, Sunday.
Have you been seriously injured in an accident or by medical malpractice? Then you need a lawyer who will fight hard and stand up for your rights. I'm Jim Rosenbaum of the law firm of Rosenbaum & Associates. Our firm knows how to get results. We know what it takes to get you the quickest and best settlement. Call me, Jim Rosenbaum, 1-800-7-LEGAL-7. I'll answer your questions. I'll see you get the service you need. I've been getting results for over 25 years. If you want results, call me for a free consultation. Jim Rosenbaum, 1-800-7-LEGAL-7.
Detailing, chip fix, window tint, auto alarms. There are a lot of things you can have done to your car, but only one place that does it all. And when Z-Bart Tidy Car does it, you know it's done right. Get your car showroom clean today with detailing starting at only $89. Save money and save your car with an auto alarm from $159. See your Z-Bart Tidy Car dealer in the white pages.
Blue Thunder, tonight at 11:30.
I'm Julie Moran in New York. Coming up next on ABC's Wide World of Sports, two-time Olympians Jenny Mino and Todd Sand defend their title in the pairs event at the State Farm U.S. Figure Skating Championship. And in her final U.S. competition, Bonnie Blair skates for gold in the World Sprint Speed Skating Championships from West Allis, Wisconsin. That's all coming up next here on ABC Sports. Now let's go back to bowling.
Thus far, 3 games, and this man has won all 3. Wayne Webb of the first 235 to Jason Couch's 225. Then in steps Don Genalo, gets the demonstrative Mr. Webb, 248 to 215. Then we go into the semifinal match, and Mike Aulby steps in. And here comes Mr. Webb again with a big 255, 9 strikes to Aulby's 215. The PBA career points leaders, here they are. Earl Anthony, number 1. Number 2, the biggest New York Ranger fan in the world, Mark Ruff, and here he is.
Well, you're right, Chris, and you know, really that's the benchmark of a guy's career. And Mark, a good week for you. You've been bowling some in 1995. You look in great shape. What's your future?
Well, I've been bowling well. I've had some help with Freddie Borden and a couple of guys from Brunswick, Ray Edwards and Art McKee, and I've been feeling better, throwing the ball a lot better, staying behind it more, and I feel good. And You know, I'm not even tired.
You won 56 games here. You felt pretty good about your game. In fact, until the last day, you had a chance at the top 5.
Yeah, I struggled a little bit last night, and, you know, it's a little different now with the resin balls. I probably didn't switch quick enough and move in deep enough, but I'll be ready for next week.
Mark, you look sharp. You see 2 players out here, one inexperienced in Scott Alexander, and yet the veteran Wayne Webb. Give me a little critique of what you think is going to happen this last match.
I think we're going to have high scores. Wayne's just throwing the ball real well, and there's a good shot inside, so it could be a high-scoring match. It's up for grabs.
Good luck, Mark.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, now we're ready for that final game. Mark Ruff with us here, and it's Wayne Webb with 3 victories, going against Scott Alexander from Seattle, Washington, 28-year-older, 6'1", 210. First, though, it is Wayne Webb.
Looks unbeatable, Chris. 33 of 34 balls in the pocket, 246 average. Let's see what happens. This is the title.
$38,000 in the winner and a car. First television appearance for Scott Alexander. His second appearance in Toledo, however. He finished 3rd in the American Bowling Congress Masters at Seagate in 1991.
Wow, he throws that ball awfully well. The big guy. And I'll tell you, he has a great style, Chris. I've watched him for a couple years. He's getting better and better. Got the contemporary wrist position. Everything in real good shape. Look at how he's pulled that left shoulder back. He cuffs that wrist, and it hits the line very solidly. As you can see, he's bowled 56 games this week. Those are 8-game blocks, and he led the pack. Now, he's going to play a little bit farther left than the rest of our players, and he'll be right around the 3rd arrow. Real good strike ball if he can keep it in the pocket.
A double. A man that uses the full approach here at Imperial Lanes. Now back to Wayne Webb. Strike up shooting in the second.
I don't think Wayne Webb expected Alexander to come out and throw the first 2 balls that well.
Both pros had big final games. As we mentioned earlier, Webb over Traber, and then Alexander over Aulby, 256 to 200 to take the tournament lead.
Wayne Webb started bowling at the age of 3 with a duck fin ball, which weighs about 4 pounds. And Chris, that's kind of how I got started. A little duck fin ball, and the great Ned Day gave one to my father, who drilled it up for me. It's a great way to learn. Unfortunately, today's automatic pin setters won't pick that ball up. And duck pins, for the uninitiated, is a game they play back east against 10 smaller pins. Similar scoring. Wayne Webb here in the 3rd frame, solid 10. One of his really good shots that didn't pay dividends.
Nice cross-line shot coming back up to cover the 10 pin on the left lane, and Scott Alexander now a double up. His best finish thus far this year, other than here in Toledo, was 9th in Reno.
Chris, he told me before he went out there this winter that if he doesn't do well this winter, it's it for his bowling career. So this game means everything at this point.
3 in a row. And there's Sunday, his wife.
Nice couple. Scott Alexander, nice-looking young man, very likable. All the players like him, but he's never been in this position before. He's untested, and so far he's proven himself. In fact, he was in 2nd place in the 56th and final game last night and defeated Aulby to jump into the tournament lead with a big game. So he's proven himself so far under the gun.
Ten pin on the left lane. Scott was a very young man when he started watching the Professional Bowlers Tour telecast, Nelson, and he learned a lot from your tips and your expertise.
Well, I thank him. I hope he doesn't miss this 10 pin. We don't miss this in the tips. Atta boy, Scott.
Hey. Okay, we're in the championship game for the PBA National title. Back after this.
You think aftershaves have to hurt to work? Put yours here. Sensitive from Old Spice, here. This doesn't take the sting out of aftershave. Call, and they'll buy you a bottle of yours. Come on, take the sensitive challenge. I did.
Sophisticated guidance technology. Unrestrained penetrating power. Devastating explosive energy. Now available in a bowling ball. The new XS from AMF. It will destroy your old notions of what hook and hitting power can be.
Shake it, no dandruff. You've got Selsun Power. Brush it, no flakes. You've got Selsun Power with Selsun Blue. Doctors recommend it #1 over all leading brands. Dandruff problem? No way. You've got Selsun Power.
Bronson Pinchot returns as the prankster, and he's back for revenge. An all-new Lois and Clark.
How could you do that?
Kind of like this? Sunday on ABC.
Beginning to feel the importance of this final game. Wayne Webb with 3 victories, trailing by 10. He has a spare up, shooting in the 4th. His opponent, Scott Alexander, a non-winner. High hit and a 9-pin. If you just join us, Webb with games of 235, 7 strikes, 248, 8 strikes, and 255, 9 strikes, and eliminating Jason Couch, Don Genalo, and Mike Aulby. A spare, and here's Bo.
Thank you, Chris Schenkel. Mike Aulby, 2 good weeks for you. You could have won the match last week. You left a solid 7 in Peoria, and then you hit the hole almost every shot this week. It looks like it's a little tougher out there for the lefties than the righties.
Well, we were forced in just a touch deeper on the show here and couldn't quite get as much flip as we had most of the week to really get the carry and the confidence to let it out there. So myself, I was just trying to keep it in play and hit the head pin and hopefully get some breaks. It did early, but Wayne was just too strong today.
Well, that's fine that you compliment him, but you bowled a great match yourself, and I'm sure you'll be back next week. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks, Bo.
All right. And another 10-pin for Wayne Webb. 10 in the 3rd frame, 9 in the 4th, and now 10 in the 5th. About 2/3 of the approach. And another spare. Now, Scott Alexander, 8 times a regional winner. Spare up 5th frame now, title game. Victor here in this match, Nelson, would make him eligible for the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions.
Chris, you're right, Dad. That's our last telecast, April 19th here on ABC. Also, he would have a 3-year exemption from any rabbits on the tour, so he would be very tough.
And he would bounce Ricky Ward off the list.
And I'll correct myself, that Brunswick World Open culminates on April 22nd. Got my Saturdays mixed up. But he needs a victory to get there. And one of the key things for him this year, Chris, is he's worked on his spare game. You know, in 56 games, 7 days, he missed just 1 spare. That's phenomenal. When you have a strike ball like that, you can really do it. Here's the grip, kind of a semi-fingertip. The finger's in between the 1st and 2nd knuckle, tucks that pinky, but great wrist action.
Big, strong-looking 28-year-old professional.
And nothing good happens for him in the last 3 frames. He starts with 3 strikes, then 10-pin, 10-pin, solid 8. He leaves the door wide open for Wayne Webb to get right back in the match. There'll be just a 10-pin differential after this conversion.
Okay, title match. We're in Toledo, where we have many friends, including a lovely man named Harold Shunk, who passed away this week. He happens to be the dad of Steve and Amy Shunk. and has a twin brother named Raymond. So to all of them, all of us at ABC, deep sympathy. Steve Shunk, our talented production assistant.
And one of my real good buddies, Chris. My heart goes out to him and his family. Steve Areno, we'll see you next week. Our thoughts are with you, pal. And right now, the thoughts that are going through Scott Alexander are simply this. If Wayne Webb strikes here, we're all tied for the national championship with 4 frames left.
Wayne Webb.
Those were his best 2 shots of this match. A baptism of fire all at once for Scott Alexander. Major title, Triple Crown event, first time on television, tournament leader, and he's all tied with a proven veteran with just 3 frames left.
Coming in the 7th frame.
Don't say there isn't any reciprocity in our sport. He gets 3 good hits, gets nothing for him except a spare. He throws it wide. He trips the 2-pin with the 8 off the sideboard. A great break. He must take advantage of it as the match is even. Takes the full approach. 6 feet, 1 inches tall, 5 steps, a lot of leverage, a lot of power.
Oh, I noticed earlier he had only a portion of the right heel off the approach. Now he's got both of them nearly halfway off.
And with each succeeding frame, he's going to slide farther back. That pressure will make you do a lot of different things. Now here's a guy with a short approach at 5 feet, 5 inches tall. One of the great arm wrestlers on the Pro Bowlers Tour, almost undefeated. In fact, he gets in a lot of contests, so he can muscle it down there.
Look at that. 3 in a row for the man that comeback king today.
Scoreboard tells the story. Dead even. 2 frames left. National championship.
There's Scott Alexander.
The unknown. The determined.
That was a 9-pin. Just touched.
Webb quick with his feet. Right there, he gets a little quick to the foul line, snaps the ball through, jumps high, almost leaves the 4-9 split, standing momentarily. 2 pins to the sideboard, trips out the 4 and 7, leaves the 9.
The 1-pin lead. Shooting in the 9th can increase it to 11. Double up.
This is his big shot right here. This is the one he wants. This would give him a lead going into the 10th frame, and even if he doesn't strike, would force Webb to perform. Best Wayne Webb can do is 236. Alexander going at a 237 pace. So for Scott Alexander, strike here, he is the new national champion. Spare 9 strike, he gives Webb a chance to tie.
So here it is. The opportunity.
Right now, Scott Alexander has to stay in the building. He needs 5 pins to win the match. His first title, first championship round. A lot of other goodies that go with it. Besides proving himself as a pro. His wife knows 5 pins. She's a sweetheart.
Computer operator at home doing graphics.
National champ right there. National champ, 246.
Oh, listen to this. The other players who have won their first titles at the PBA National. There's Cindy, his wife. It's a great victory for both. Dave Sutar, Bob Strampy, Warren Nelson, Mike Aulby, Bob Chamberlain, Tom Kreitz, Mike Miller, and David Traber.
Some top players there, and this is a great one to win, the Triple Crown event for your first title.
And a pal of mine named Kenny Miller in Florida, who's recuperating. I'm sure enjoyed that great victory by the first-time television appearance man, Scott Alexander, and his wife, Sunday. We'll be talking to them very, very soon. 246.
At last, satellite television has come down to Earth with PrimeStar. PrimeStar offers you a wealth of family entertainment, pro and college sports, the latest hit movies, all with digital quality picture and sound. Best of all, you don't have to buy the dish. PrimeStar is a service, so you get great programming, the use of all equipment, even maintenance, all starting at about $1 a day. All you have to do is call 1-800-PRIME-STAR.
The amazing split-fire spark plug won a United States patent.
Does it really work? Is it that much better?
It's guaranteed. 5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs. You'll feel it work. Guaranteed. A 4.8% gain in mileage. You'll save because it works. Guaranteed. There's nothing like a split fire. You'll get more power and more mileage for your money back. You'll get more here, and you'll spend less here. Guaranteed.
As I sling the proverbial hash and decant the coffee and witness the results, I am dismayed by the belief that an antacid in a spoon is somehow stronger than a tablet. Au contraire.
A dose of Mylanza regular strength has this much neutralizing power. Regular Maalox, this much. But Tums Ultra has more neutralizing power. And while these have aluminum and magnesium,
Tums Ultra has calcium.
Something my body needs anyway.
So if you must take your antacid in a utensil, may I suggest Ultra?
Win a major. That's the way to do it for the first time. Scott Alexander. 35,000 and more. Like a green jacket from Commissioner Mike Connor. How's it feel going on?
It's amazing. I'm absolutely in shock. I didn't know if I was going to bowl well or not. My blood pressure was moving up near heart attack level there as we were going along. So
let's check Cindy's. Come here, Cindy. Computer operator. Come right in here. You weren't very tense.
Oh, no. It was worth the trip.
What does it mean to you?
I just think I'm just so happy for him. It's just a dream for him, and I'm happy that he realized his dream.
You're going to let him stay out on tour now, right?
Oh, sure.
Well, just to sort of emphasize, Scott and Cindy, that fact, Daryl Duquette, our host for these many years, has a couple of items that he'd like to present.
I'd like to present you with a check for $35,000. Congratulations, Scott. You bowled great all week. It was just wonderful. Thank you very much. This is the trophy for that winning the tournament.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
How does it feel now?
Well, it's more and more unbelievable, to be honest with you. I'd like to thank Daryl Duquette here and Chevrolet for helping sponsor the tournament. Also, you know, winning this major gives me an exemption into the Brunswick Tournament of Champions, so looks like I have an extra week on tour this year.
Are you music fans because you're from Seattle?
Yeah, we like the Seattle grunge scene a little bit.
Oh, well, I'm glad. We'll be back in a moment, but Nelson Burt Jr. has a professional. Bo?
Thank you, Chris, and a great champion, Scott. And Wayne, it was a great day for you. However, that last game, you really wanted it. There was a lot at stake.
The last game was really important. I made pretty good shots. I got slow a couple times, and that's when I left the solid nines. I had a little trouble with my speed today, but that's where my carry, you know, it didn't happen, but it was a great day. I'm just real pleased.
Well, you look like you're bowling better than ever, and you told me that last game was worth 50 grand, so obviously you wanted it, and you're going to bowl the rest of the winter, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. This is one of the best winters I've had for a long time. I think now I'm back on track.
He looks great, Chris. He'll be back, and back to you and the new national champion.
Okay. Scott Alexander and his wife Cindy, winners here today. And Mike Connor, I know you're proud. Many first-time winners have won the PBA National. Great names, so Scott could very well be another.
I think Mike Aulby is one of those that you mentioned.
He certainly is.
And Scott, wonderful bowling all week, and congratulations to you. You've launched a great opportunity here for you.
Baltimore?
Nope, I had planned that week off, and I'm going to go home and let all this soak in.
New Jersey?
Yep, coming back out for...
You better. Cindy, congratulations again, because you had a impressive victory. I want to read off the score again. 246 to Wayne Webb's 210. Okay, see you soon. Congratulations again. Now for all our ABC crew, Nelson Burton Jr., I'm Chris Schenkel saying so long from the River City. It's on the Maumee, and we love it here. Thank you, fans. So long for now. The executive producer of ABC Sports is Jack O'Hara. Today's telecast of the Professional Bowlers Tour was produced by Carol Letty, directed by Larry Camp, technical director Michael Carmen, associate director Tom Gatewood, production manager Bob Simon, technical manager Hal Schmitz, assistants to the producer Steve Shunk and Brian Gordon.
ABC Sports coverage of the Professional Bowlers Tour has been brought to you by Calcium-Rich Tums. Tums helps wipe out heartburn and gives you calcium. Splitfire, the patented performance spark plug. It only costs more until you use it. And PrimeStar, we bring satellite television down to earth. Coming up next, ABC's Wide World of Sports continues coverage of our country's premier skating event. See Nino and Sam defend their title with a near-perfect performance in the pairs competition. It's a State Farm U.S. Figure Skating Championships next. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
A promotional fee has been paid by Northwest Airlines, finding new ways to serve you for more than 60 years.